All right, says I'm live. If you can hear me, please let me know. We'll get this started. I'll pop the chat out. I think about 50 people waiting. Do appreciate you stopping by today. If you can do me a small favor, leave a like on your way in or on your way out, or at any point, you can do that. And if I upset you, you can always take it away. But all right, let me get this popped up. And we should be good to go. I'm looking forward to the race today. Pocono's not typically the most exciting track out there, but next gen car, we've been surprised at many other boring tracks this year, so I'm excited for it. Should be a good one. I'll be more excited if everything I think is going to happen turns out, so we'll see. But all right, Andre gave me the loud and clear. I can always count on that. Do appreciate it, guys. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, what's up? Good morning. See Tito's in here already. Let's go Daddy Truex. Same contest I said last week, still on if he wins. Oh, from what you said last week, you're going to run around naked with an American flag if Truex wins? I think that's what you said. We were close. I mean, he should have won last week. He was obviously the best car, but obviously it wasn't the best car. But yeah, it should be fun one day. I think there's lots of ways you can go. I mean, you have 4 drivers starting in the first 2 rows that are basically the same play, in my opinion, so it's going to be kind of tough to decide who you're going to want to go heaviest on. As of right now, my lean's Kyle Busch of those 4 drivers. And then obviously you're going to want to pair him up with Ross Chastain. I think that's how the majority of lineups are going to start today. One of those 4 drivers up front and then Ross Chastain. So, and after that, we got to decide. Everyone's going to play Eric Jones. That leaves 3 spots left, and that's where you're going to have to kind of get different. Although you don't have to play Chastain today. You don't have to play any of those guys. There's other routes you can go for tournaments for sure. I'm just speaking from a cash game mindset as of right now. What's up, Clint Wood? Good morning, Chris. Happy race day, everyone. Yeah, for sure. Happy race day. Should be a good one, hopefully. Hopefully it's not too boring. Although I think obviously I didn't watch it, but I think Xfinity and trucks were kind of exciting at Pocono yesterday. What's up, Eric? Good morning, happy race day. Good morning to you. Barely still morning, but we're still here. Eric says, I like Kurt Busch and Bell a decent amount today. Any idea approximately how their ownership will look? Yeah, I love Christopher Bell today. One of my favorite drivers on the entire slate. As far as ownership is concerned, I think Bell is going to be in the mid-20s. He might get close to 30. I'm not sure how much other people love him. I know I like him a lot, so that might get juiced up a little bit, but I'm a big fan of Christopher Bell today. As far as Kurt Busch is concerned, I think we see him in the low to mid-teens. People are going to be kind of scared off of him going to the rear. He obviously crashed his car in practice. So, I mean, there's some concerns there for sure, because you lose that premium track position he would have had in the top 10. Now he has to start from the rear. He can negative points, start the race. And there's some other pretty good plays around him, like Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, Alex Bowman, Suarez, Eric Jones in a similar price range. So I don't think the ownership's going to get anything too high on Kurt Busch today. So I think that makes him look pretty solid for tournaments. Kelsey says, how you feel today? Appreciate you asking, Kelsey. And I'm feeling well. It was awful yesterday. Thought I was about to die yesterday morning, but I got progressively better. And I feel perfect today. So hopefully that keeps up. But thank you for asking. What's up, Sprague? I'm a wrenchman here. Do appreciate it. I think Andy might have had a bit much the past couple of days, so I'm not sure if he's gonna join us today. We'll see when he wakes up. And also, yeah, I need to remind you guys, so the contest filled already before the stream, like 30 minutes before the stream. So we made a second contest somewhere last week. So if you didn't join in, or if you just want to join twice, there is another contest in the league. Someone I'm sure has the link. I put it in the chat already, and you can check my Twitter if you want. Chris Pennell 16 on Twitter if you want to join the second contest. And then obviously I'll shout out both on the channel like I did this weekend. Patrick says, let's get it today. Larson, hey, let's get it. And yeah, I don't mind Kyle Larson today. I'm having trouble doing my 3 max currently because I like Busch, I like Hamlin, I like Chastain, I like Elliott, I like Truex, I like Larson, I like all those guys up top, and I can't play them all in a 3 max. So I'm trying to decide who's going to get the chop there. I'm thinking it might be Hamlin. I like Hamlin a lot today. I think he's a fine play, but if I had to stack him up against all those drivers, like in the top 6, top 5 drivers, he's probably going to be the one that gets cut, but it's very close. I mean, they're all great plays. It's tough. Bull says, for those who've not saw yet, mention the second contest. Yep. He's the one who controls that for me. I do appreciate the hard work he does every single week. Marvin says, good morning from Gastonia, North Carolina. Yeah, good morning, Marvin. I'm sure it's nice there today. Let's get it. Let's do it. Good morning, Dave. Nice to have you here. Leave a like on the way in. Yep. Helps us out quite a bit. What's up, Rick? Morning, CP. Hello, race fam. What's up, man? longtime member of the Discord. Hopefully it's a fun one today. No wrecks. Obviously last week I still had, 3 max still went well because ownership was high enough on guys like Bowman and Ty Dillon, but that was not a good start to the week, that's for sure. I mean, Bowman and Ty Dillon, obviously very popular plays, and they were in good spots. Wrecked instantly. I'm sure that hurt a lot of us, for sure. I mean, fortunately enough, I was still able to cash some lineups there, but it sucks though. What's up, Roddy Dorito? Thanks again for everything. No problem at all. Smash that likes, folks. Yeah, helps me out. Helps us all out. Mini Dictas says, welcome to Sunday NASCAR DFS. Service is now in session. Checkered flag. Chris will be reading from Busch, Chapter 8. I like it. Hopefully. I'm hoping Kyle Busch wins the checkered flag today. I mean, so my thesis for liking him over Hamlin today, I think they're like the same exact play. They both have the same odds to win the race in Vegas. The two favorites, Toyotas, JGR. I mean, there's real reason not to like either of them. But if I had to pick between the two, which you probably have to, I think siding with Kyle Busch is the better route to go. I just think he can overall have a more dominant car. I like his pit crew better. And, I'm looking for anything to try to make a decision there. And Denny Hamlin, for failing tech twice, he did lose his pit stall selection, so I think he's right behind Cody Ware in the pits. Meanwhile, Kyle Busch got the best pick, and he's up front, and obviously there's nobody in front of him. Also, Chase Elliott's got an open pit stall in front of him, and I believe so does Kyle Larson. So Denny Hamlin, I mean, maybe that makes him lose a spot or two every time we pit or not. I just think Kyle Busch will be able to get the lead at some point. And I'm all for the M&M narrative today. I mean, he's got the M&M car. It's the M&M Fan Appreciation 400. They're leaving NASCAR. I mean, I'm a buyer in the narrative today for Kyle Busch. What's up, Phil? Always nice to have you here. Do appreciate it. Always active on the Twitter space, dropping some knowledge, and of course over on Stochastic as well. What's up, Anthony? Dustin says top 2 tourney plays today. In tournaments, I like Daniel Suarez a lot. $7,900 starting in 9th. I mean, Trackhouse, I think they're just cheating. And look, I want cheaters on my team, so I will gladly roster all the Chastain and Suarez today. He was P3 in practice, should have a fast car, was super fast at the last intermediate. If I remember correctly, at Charlotte, he ripped through the field twice, was super fast. Ended up, something happened. I mean, obviously, the Coke 600 turned into Daytona 500, so I forget exactly what happened, but he had an issue where he finished poorly. Still a decent DK day, but man, I think Suarez is obviously in a very good spot. Not a lot of people are going to want to go there, especially with the massive chalk of Eric Jones in a similar price range. And then I also like Christopher Bell. I mean, he's going to be kind of popular, but I'm planning on making him one of my highest owned drivers today for tournaments. Tito says, just need Chase to grab the lead turn 1 and we good? Well, see, I'd prefer Toyota today, but I'm going to have a lot of Chase Elliott as well. I mean, from what we saw in practice, where he basically had no fall off, was very impressive, but he seems to really like his car. So I mean, if Toyota's not going to do it today, I just think there's a strong chance Chase Elliott just continues his reign of dominance he's done the past month, where he hasn't finished worse than second, and that's been at several different track types. It's not like he's only good at a certain track or track type. He's been good just about at anything. James says Austin Dillon and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. for tournaments. I'm gonna go with Ricky there. I have been completely fading Ricky at the flat tracks this year, but we haven't been to a track like Pocono yet, and you get higher speeds there. Stenhouse has been awful with the short flats, but he actually showed some speed in practice. P19 in the 1 lap, then P8 in the 5 lap. I don't think he's a terrible play today. Starting in 19th, it looks like he at least has a little bit of speed, so I'm gonna go with Stenhouse there. Austin Dillon starting a few spots further up and showed similar speeds in practice, so I'll just take the extra PD spots with Stenhouse. Eric says, C-Pen the GOAT. Nope, you're the GOAT as well, Eric. I do appreciate it. Always in the Discord. Rick says, hope you're feeling better today. Thank you, Rick. I am so far. I don't want to jinx it, but it was a rough day yesterday early on, and it got better. I was worried I wasn't going to be able to do the video or live stream, but we powered through. Bull says, is this the MLB stream? Oh, it is not. I mean, if you have an MLB question, I'll try to answer it, but my focus is on NASCAR today. But all the stuff's updated over on the sheets, obviously. Chris says, Cash, Elliott, Chastain, Bell, Jones, and Ware. So I mean, I can't do Cody Ware and Cash personally. If you want to, I get it. I know Phil talked about it in his article. I was reading it this morning, and I mean, if you're ever going to play a punt and cash, this is probably the best scenario for it. And he actually did show some speed in practice, but for me, I can't do it. At the lowest, I went in the one lineup I built for cash And it's not 100% set in stone yet, but Stenhouse was actually the lowest I had to go. And that was still fitting in Kyle Busch, Chastain, and Christopher Bell. So I don't really think you have to go that low. But for your question anyway, last guy in, Reddick or Bowman, I'd probably side with Bowman there. I really like Hendrick and JDR today, so I'll take the Hendrick driver. Plus he won here last year. I mean, he shouldn't have won, but he was still good, obviously. Gridiron says, thoughts on Suarez and Bell? So you probably asked this before I said that, so I probably already answered this for you, but I do like them a lot. I mean, they're two of my favorite tournament plays on the slate. Bell's not going to be super sneaky, but he's still a driver that I don't think is going to have insane ownership because he's right below Kevin Harvick. He's right below William Byron. So I like Bell a lot. Super fast in practice, and Suarez is obviously fast as well. And people don't like to, people don't really want to load up on the front a lot of times, and this isn't really a track where you need a ton of dominators, but I still think they're going to hold their track position and potentially gain spots. Mini Dictas says, average salary on the table from a quick crunch, please, sir. Yes, I usually always do this for you guys. So I'm going to pull up the optimizer. I did an ownership update before I got on the stream, so if you do have access to the optimizer, those numbers did change a little bit. Obviously, the chalk today, highest owned is going to be Eric Jones or Ross Chastain. Don't think there's any debate about that. Then after that, it kind of gets a little bit sketchy, but all right. So crunching 20 right now. Let's see. Statistics. Okay, so the average salary used is just a 20 crunch, no settings at all. Average salary used is $49,800, so that's $200 on the table. The men's salary used was $49,500, and obviously the max was $50,000. So it looks like you're going to be using most of your salary this weekend, which makes sense. I mean, you have several drivers, that are pretty expensive that are in great spots. So, and not many great cheap plays today. It makes sense that you're going to lose a large chunk of your salary. Has anyone seen Molly? Says, what's up, boss? What's up? I don't know your name, but no, I have not seen Molly. Wondering about the best 7 and 6K drivers. So starting with the 7K drivers, the guys I like the most are Daniel Suarez, Eric Jones, and probably Bubba Wallace. I think Cindric's a pretty interesting play. He's also won here in the Xfinity Series, so I'd say Cindric, Wallace, Jones, and Suarez. And then as far as 6K is concerned, I don't love really any of these guys, but they're playable. You just kind of have to land on them, the way roster construction works. Stenhouse is probably my favorite. And then Custer it's gross. I don't want to play Custer today, but if you were playing cash games, he's kind of an easy guy to slide in. But I am not expecting much. He was super slow in practice, and P33 in practice, that's worse than Haley. That's on par with guys like Yaley, Blicky, McLeod, and he was also the second worst in the 5 lap for the guys that ran it. So I'm not expecting much from Custer, but I think he's cash viable down there. What's up, Michael? Hopefully you're having a great day today so far. What's up, EZ? I like boring if it equals money. Yeah, I am all for boring races. Like New Hampshire, I thought it was boring. I know a lot of people liked it, but I thought it was a very boring race. But I was still able to do pretty well because I had a lot of Truex, a lot of Elliott, and a decent chunk of Christopher Bell, at least enough to where I didn't get killed. It didn't have him in the 3 max, unfortunately. But the more boring the race, the better usually. Unless it's a super speedway, I want chaos. Or if I have a ton of PD guys, I usually want chaos. But if it's boring, that means it's more projectable usually, and that makes it easier to obviously do well for DFS purposes, because you can't always account for mass chaos and projections. What's up, Travis? Nice for you to be here today. What's up, Nate D? Suarez thoughts? Like Suarez a lot today. I think he's an excellent tournament play. Obviously, Eric Jones is going to soak up a ton of ownership in that mid 7K range, and hoping Daniel Suarez goes under the radar. I'm projecting him for around 13 to 15% ownership today. I wouldn't mind being closer to 20. Obviously, there's plenty of speed in the Trackhouse cars. I think they're cheating. I don't know how, but look, like I said earlier, I want cheaters on my team. So I like Suarez, love Chastain today, both Trackhouse cars. What's up, Rhythm? What is up? Sarugi says, good morning, Chris. Good morning, Sarugi. Was wondering what you think of this Fanduel lineup for GPP. You just reminded me I have to do my Fanduel builds. I got 150 reserved and I have not yet touched them yet. So I'll have to do that at some point. I also need to post my exposures over on Patreon as well for DK. But your question was for Fanduel. Kurt Busch, Bell, Eric Jones, Chastain, and Bowman. It's pretty solid. Obviously, keep in mind Kurt Busch is going to the rear, so I'm not sure if that sways your opinion, if you didn't remember that or not. But outside of that, I just don't think Kurt Busch is a bad play. I still play him, but I think overall it's a very solid lineup. I think Chastain's the best play over on Fanduel today. I love Eric Jones. He's really cheap over there. I want to say he's That's $6,000, so it's very easy to fit in Eric Jones. And if you throw in Eric Jones on Fanduel, you can basically build whatever lineup you want. So I don't have a problem with that. Kelsey says, with Byron and Kurt Busch going to the rear, is there some leverage there? I think it certainly drops their ownership, and this isn't really a track where you need them to dominate to do well as far as being optimal. Obviously, at the end of the day, you're going to need them cracking the top 10, Kurt Busch more so the top 8. But I still think they're viable today. I'm not fading them. Now, there's a question though. I mean, yes, they have to work their way through the field, but I think they're going to be able to do that. They were both really fast in practice, so I'm not overly concerned about it. Obi says, happy fun day, fellas. What's good, Chris? What's up, Obi? Nice for you to be here. Hopefully all is going well. Ryan, again, you got to tell me how to pronounce it because I feel like I'm saying it wrong every time. But what's up? So what's the chalk cash plays? I'm thinking Jones, Haley, Chastain. I don't think Haley's going to be uber chalk today, but I mean, everyone's playing Jones. Obviously, everyone's playing Chastain. I think the question after that is, do you play Kyle Busch or do you play Denny Hamlin? I prefer Kyle Busch. You're splitting hairs here. You're not going to be able to play both. I like Kyle Busch a little bit more. I mean, yeah, I think Denny Hamlin's probably in the best spot to lead laps early on, but I think when the race is all said and over, Kyle Busch has a decent chance to be able to outscore him. And obviously, I like the better pit stall, better pit crew overall. So for me, I'm starting cash with Kyle Busch, Chastain, and Eric Jones today. And then I'm either picking an 8K driver or I'm going kind of mid-range with 7K. Spread drop in the link. Yeah, if you want to join the second contest, first one filled, so we do have a second one. I'm not sure how many spots are open on that. I can check. I'm sure it's obviously not close to being filled yet, but let's see. We have 65 people in the second contest already, so it'd be cool if we could fill two. That'd be absolutely awesome. We still have about 3.5 hours, 4 hours until lock, so it'd be cool to fill both. Not sure if we can do it, but Tio says let's go Truex. Yeah, speaking of Truex, I think he's someone you guys can't forget about today. I'm not sure he's getting a lot of steam. Obviously crushed it last week. Not that it really matters for this weekend because that was New Hampshire, short flat. Now we're going to a large triangle at Pocono. But I was looking at the green flag speed numbers. I like to average these out. And we have a new leader this year for excluding, my filter's not working. So when you exclude road courses, you exclude super speedways, the Bristol dirt, and whatever useless track that we've been at, Martin Truex is actually the leader in green flag speed this year once you remove all the silly tracks. So do not forget about him. Like, I don't think a lot of people are going to go that route, but look, he should be lower owned than Elliott, should be lower owned than Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and Chastain. And I mean, he offers a little bit of PD upside starting in P8, and he could obviously win this race. Has been fine at Pocono in the past. So just don't forget about Truex today. I feel like he's kind of sliding under the radar a little bit. And I'm going to try to get him in a 3 max build, I think. Travis says, let's go Ryan Blaney. I'm getting worried for him. I'm really getting worried because, 2 more spots left for new winners, and then after that, I mean, that's when you get in trouble. And I feel like Truex is going to win a race here at some point. He's been very strong, so once he wins, there's like 1 more spot left. I don't know. It's getting tough for Ryan Blaney. I don't have much confidence in the Fords today. I mean, could he win? Sure. I think he's got the best chance of any Ford to do it. But I don't see him beating out a JGR car. I don't see him beating out a Hendrick car, so I don't think he's going to win today. So it's going to be tough on Blaney. It's going to be tough. I didn't think we'd get down to the scenario where we have that many winners, but I guess it just makes it fun, I guess. You're welcome, Flights Demon. You're welcome. Hopefully it's helpful to you. Hopefully it's helpful. What's up, Joseph? There's going to be a lot of M&Ms in Victory Lane today. I hope so. We need the M&M car in Victory Lane today. I'd be very happy with that. Very happy with that. I mean, narratives seem to hit every week. I don't see why we can't get Kyle Busch doing it, but yeah, you got someone brought it to my attention. It could be the reverse narrative because obviously M&Ms and Mars is leaving the sport, so maybe Kyle Busch wrecks today for the reverse narrative. Hopefully not, though. I still like Kyle Busch a lot. Steve says, are you using any tracks they've been at this year to compare with Pocono? Seems kind of difficult. Yeah, it's so we're kind of reaching on similar tracks this year, but what I did was I looked at some of the intermediates because that's where we can get higher speeds. Obviously, we don't have anything to compare Pocono to. In the past, we could always do Indy, and you could always look at the previous Pocono races, but it's like all irrelevant now because we don't go to Indy anymore. And none of these Pocono races were in the next gen cars. So the best thing we could do, I think personally, was look at some of the intermediates we've been at this year, which would include Charlotte, Kansas, Las Vegas, and Auto Club. And then even then, the Auto Club was so long ago. JGR kind of sucked, and Toyota was pretty bad overall, and they've gotten a lot better. So even some of these numbers are just kind of skewed a bit. But, you know, it's something to look at. I just think from what we've seen so far this season and who was passed yesterday, I think that'll kind of show up today. So thank goodness for practice, because if we didn't have practice, this would be a very tough race to project. FE says full fade on the Fords today. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Fords. I'm trying to think who my highest owned Ford is. Let me see. Just going down the list here. Don't have much Logano, not much Blaney. Harvick. Yeah. See, I think Harvick's going to be over-owned today, personally. I know his average finish at similar tracks this year has been really good, but his average running position is a lot worse than his average finish. I think it's around 16.7 average finish out of the top 10. Just been kind of getting lucky and not wrecking. So I don't call him lucky. I mean, obviously he's been fine, but I mean, the numbers indicate he's been more of like a 15th place car rather than a top 10 car at these tracks so far this year. Obviously, it's a small sample size to pull too much data from, but I think he might go a bit over-owned today. I'd rather get my exposure to guys like Christopher Bell, and I think I'd rather be higher on William Byron as well. Oh, anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. So I was looking at my highest on Ford. I barely have any Briscoe at all. My highest on Ford, I think actually might be Cindric. I do like Cindric today a little bit. Again, I'm not super high on any of the Fords, but he's fitting my lineups quite well. And he wasn't bad in practice either. P15 in the 1 and P12 in the 5. That's not terrible for his price point and his starting position. So I think Cindric is my highest on Ford today. Let's see. TY says Toyota's heavy today. Yeah, I'm going to be pretty heavy on Toyota today. I like Hendrick as well, but if I had to... Oh, wait, I just got a tweet from Phil here. I'm not sure if he's fooling me. Waiting for Chris Pennell to finally get to the point in his YouTube chat, he realizes that Kurt Busch is out and Ty Gibbs is in. Hold on, timeout. Timeout, that's interesting. Well, that changes things. Thank you for the tweet, Phil. I appreciate it. I would have been talking for a long time before I got to the Kurt Busch point. That's interesting. Okay. Let me check the Bob. I obviously believe you. I just want to see what the official news is. Okay, pulling up Bob's Twitter. Wow. Okay. Do you have a? Oh, he's okay. So Kurt Busch has concussion-like symptoms. Not racing. Wow. Okay. I'm assuming we're not going to get Ty Gibbs in the player pool. So let's see. Kurt. Okay. Wow. That's some news. Okay. Okay. I assume we can just not worry about Kurt Busch or Ty. I don't think Ty Gibbs would be added into the player pool. So I like Kurt Busch in tournaments today, but that completely nullifies that. So that's some pretty big news. That's fun. Okay. Thank you, Phil, for pointing that out to me. It would have been a long time. Okay. Oh, anyway, that's okay. So he was $8,500 on DK, $9,000 on Fanduel. That probably just pushes more ownership to guys like Christopher Bell, maybe some Bowman, Reddick, and Suarez, I'd imagine. But I'll update ownership and stuff and projections after we get off stream. But that's some big news today. I'm excited to see Ty Gibbs race, though, in the 45 car. That'll be nice. We'll see what he can do. And at least we don't have to worry about him for DFS purposes, I would assume. See my mom's here. Good morning, bud. Happy race day, NASCAR fans. Vroom, vroom. Let's get it, Logano. Good luck, everyone. Also, I got to give my mom a shout-out. It is her birthday today, so if you're in chat and you want to tell her happy birthday, do it. I'm sure she would enjoy that. Unfortunately, I can't see her today because we're very far away. But got to give her a shout-out. Do appreciate you being here. Sarugi says, I meant Kyle Busch, not Kurt, in my Fanduel lineup. Well, yeah, you definitely meant Kyle now instead of Kurt because we could not play him. But yeah, I mean, Kyle Busch makes that lineup a lot better. So I like that a lot. Tito says, Kyle be in the wall. If Kyle Busch is in the wall today, Tito, we're going to have to fight in Discord. And we're probably not playing Warzone together. So just keep that in mind. What's up, Adam? Happy race day. Oh, yeah. Should be a good one. Looking forward to it. MMA Pixels says, Summerslam Car going to put the smack down. Who is in the Summerslam Car? Is it Corey LaJoy? I think. Let me pull up the... Okay, yeah, it is Corey. Yeah, I saw it yesterday. It looked pretty cool. It's a pretty cool car, although I mean, he's in a tough spot for DFS purposes. But I think I have like a little sprinkle of Corey LaJoy lineups today. Javier says Larson over Elliott. Two very similar plays. I personally prefer Chase Elliott. His long run car looked great in practice. I mean, it looked good in the long run in practice. And obviously, he's been on fire, so I'd trust Elliott a little bit more than Kyle Larson. And it's only a few $100s more anyway, so I'd find a couple extra bucks. Both are good plays, but I would give the edge to Elliott. Demetrius says, good morning from Norfolk, Virginia. Hoo-yah. I'm not sure exactly where Norfolk is. Is that Northern Virginia? I'm trying to remember. I drove through Virginia once to go to DC, but I don't know much about the cities there. But I do appreciate you stopping by, Demetrius. Hopefully it's a good time for you. Cameron says, good morning, Chris. Hoping for better luck this Sunday. Hopefully, Cameron. Obviously, the start of the race last week didn't go well. We lost Bowman, lost Ty Dillon, and I forget what else happened. Everything else besides that wasn't terrible, really. But, I mean, obviously, two pretty good plays that died out quite quickly. Okay, got to the point where Phil got me. Kurt Busch is out today. Ty Gibbs to drive the 45. Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. I would assume DraftKings wouldn't have him added to the player pool to play him. I mean, obviously don't play Kurt Busch today. That would be just trying to see if I wouldn't expect that, but just in case. Thank you, Mom. I do appreciate it. Do appreciate it. You and your nurse helped me out quite a bit yesterday. Got me feeling better. TY says, stay away from Kurt Busch today. Yeah, you can't play Kurt Busch today. That's no longer happening. You will get 0 points. You will get 0 points. Don't recommend that at all. Ty Gibbs driving for Kurt. Heat says, who we stacking MLB? Probably just Toronto and Boston again. I mean, I like Toronto quite a bit today, but I think I got a lot of questions here, so I probably shouldn't waste my time on MLB. John says, Kyle, assuming you mean Busch, Chastain, Bell, Suarez, Haley, Burton, okay for DK Cash? So if you're playing cash games, you're going to want Jones in there. Like, whether you like him or not, you got to play him in cash, because if he crushes, you're dead. And if he sucks, it's not going to matter because he's going to be so high owned. So I'd highly recommend getting Eric Jones in there. You probably want to replace him with Suarez, personally. And then you could bump up either Haley or Burton to somebody else. But I would really recommend getting Eric Jones in for cash. Joseph says, so that's why Bob wasn't at the tweet up. Yeah, I saw he missed the tweet up today. I'm sure many people were disappointed. I got a donut from a man. Doug, appreciate it. Kyle, I'm assuming you mean Busch. Could be Larson, though. Either way. Ross, Bell, Jones, Ricky, and Custer. Oh, okay. I know which lineup you're talking about, actually. So that's actually the lineup that I hand-built first. And it's currently my highest projected own lineup, and it's currently my highest projected lineup. And it's the one I hand-built. So, I mean, that's a triple whammy there. So, and then we have Doug saying it. So I like it a lot. I think it's fine for cash. It just doesn't feel great playing Ricky or Custer. But Ricky showed some speed. He's kind of cheap. Custer, he is what he is. He sucks, and he's going to be slow, but he's starting P32. Then obviously you got to like Kyle Busch, you got to like Ross, you like Bell, you like Jones. So I think it's a very solid lineup today for sure. And certainly cash viable. JB says, when is the competition caution? I don't think we're going to have one. We haven't had rain. It wouldn't change anything for me, but I have not seen that we're going to have a competition caution today. I can pull up Bob's Twitter, but I don't think he's going to have about 20 tweets of Kurt Busch not racing now, but let me see. Okay, I got his, okay, so 322 cup race, 30, 65 for the stages, 7 sets. Yeah, didn't say anything for a competition caution, so I wouldn't expect that. And I looked at the radar today, or not the radar, the weather forecast. I don't think there's anything more than a 20% chance of rain throughout the day, so I think we should be good. Obviously, you never know with Pocono, though. Yep, getting to all the Kurt Busch not racing today things. That's I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that at all. Didn't look like the wreck was bad enough to have concussion symptoms, but I mean, better to find it now than find out later. That's for sure. Yep, Kurt Busch is out. Obi says, need your favorite cheapie, Chris. Thank you. Favorite cheapie? I don't feel good saying this, but I guess Cole Custer. Do you mean the 5K range? it would probably be Ty Dillon for me. But if you just mean under 7K, I think I have the most exposure to Ricky Stenhouse there. It's either Stenhouse or Custer for me. I hate it though. I really do. Gibbs says, Chris, look out, I just saw Sniper flying over my house. There's a 5 a.m. Discord joke. Woke up at 5 a.m. today, just hopped in Discord, and there was a lot going on for no reason at 5 a.m. Javier says Larson Elliott could be just as good as Kyle Denny with much less ownership. I don't think the ownership's going to be as much less as you think. I think a lot of people are going to get the Elliott today. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Elliott's higher owned than Denny Hamlin. I'm not sure if that many people want to go to Hamlin over guys like Busch and Chase Elliott. Larson, I think, will be a little bit lower owned than them, but I think the ownership's not going to be too far off today. But, I mean, I agree. They can be just as good. I just don't think they're going to have, like, their ownership cut in half or anything. I think it'll be pretty close. Roshan says, what do you think of my last play, McLeod? I don't have good thoughts for BJ McLeod. He's really slow just every single week. I mean, P36 in practice, which is dead last. If you're looking at his finishes at some of the intermediates this year, yes, he does have some good finishes, but you got to keep in mind that a lot of these races have turned into wreckfest. I mean, he finished 19th at Charlotte, then 36th, 28th, and 22nd. Like, that's not bad for where he's starting, but he's really slow, and you need wrecks for McLeod to ever even be close to the optimal. If I had to play one scrub this week, it'd be Cody Ware, but I don't want to get to those guys personally. You know, it's one of those tracks you need raw speed, high horsepower, and if it's a pretty clean race, you're going to see these guys in like 33rd to 36th all day. They're just not going to straight up pass guys like Justin Haley, Cole Custer. Tito says, thoughts on running like a 2 drivers in the top 4? That's fine. I'm probably going to do that in my non-Ross 3 max build. I'm going to play Ross in 2 out of 3, I think. Might be lying. I might go 3 out of 3 and just hope for the best. But if I don't, I am going to do 2 of those drivers starting in the top 4. So I think that's fine today. Rashawn says only had 4,700 left. Yeah, I mean, personally for me, I would just try to substitute somebody out and not get to McLeod. Very strong chance he finishes just about last today if it's pretty clean. Tito says, you shouting out the YouTube contest winners anymore? Yeah, Tito, I shouted you out in the video. So you basically just told on yourself. But I did give you a shout out. So if you want to check that out, you can. But yes, I've been remembering to do the shout outs. People weren't too happy I was forgetting to do it, so I'm just checking the contest here. So let's see. Second contest. Now up to 80 people. Awesome. Should get 100 plus in that. Should get 100 plus. Johnny says, what's your thoughts on LaJoy? So I wish he was starting a little bit further back. He was P25 in practice, which isn't terrible. Looking at some of his finishes, intermediates, 35th, 19th, 15th, 28th. It's not pretty. He's starting too high for me, really. I'd rather just get to Gilliland. You got similar finishing position upside and just starts a little bit further back. EJ says, you like Larson or Elliott more? I have a slight edge to Elliott. Like what I saw in practice. They both look really good, but it's really hard to bet against Chase right now. Rob says, what happened to Harvick that he's starting so far back? He just sucked yesterday. I mean, Stewart-Haas sucked. Briscoe qualified well. I was surprised he qualified that high. I didn't think that was going to happen, and same with Dark Almirola. But the Fords and Stewart-Haas just did not look great yesterday in practice, and most of them didn't qualify too well. But it was just a very slow day for Harvick. I do have my concerns with him. I think he's going to be a bit overowned today. Not saying they can just X him out, but I do think being underweight on him is probably a good way to go for tournaments. Chris says, like this cash lineup better? Elliott, Chastain, Bell, Jones, Cindric, and Haley. Yeah, that's solid. Honestly, looks like something I might want to do. So that might be better than the Stenhouse route, to be honest. I'm kind of tempted to change that. I wish you could fit Custer in there, but honestly, that might be better than the other one. So the only difference for that, we had the same first 4 drivers. Oh, no, wait. You have Elliott instead of Kyle Busch. Okay, that changes things a little bit. I was wondering how you could kind of afford that. But still very solid overall. I mean, you're splitting hairs between Elliott, Busch, Hamlin, and Larson up top today. Trevor says, no, he didn't show a lot of speed, but thoughts on Blaney. He's going to need some master strategy today to probably pull this off. Obviously, sucked in practice, was P28 in the one lap. Qualified pretty well, though, so I don't think he's going to be that bad during the race. But he's probably going to be like a 7 to 10 place car. I can't see him straight up passing JGR. I can't see him holding off Hendrick. So, I mean, yeah, he's a little bit cheaper this week, but $9,400. I don't think he's got the potential to get up front and dominate or potentially win. Ty Gibbs season, yeah, that's I'm just going to assume we're not going to get Ty Gibbs in the player pool. It'd be kind of fun if they did, though. But can't expect it. Do appreciate you guys giving me the news that Kurt Busch is out. Obviously, I'm not on the Twitter machine to look at it at the moment unless I pull it up. So, do appreciate that. Jalen says, Cindric thoughts? I don't mind Cindric today. I think he's a pretty solid play. Starting P20, you don't need much out of him to hit value at $7,200. And he's also been racing really well. Like, if you look over the past couple months now, Austin Cindric's got one of the best overall average finishes. Obviously, we've been at a couple of road courses, which could skew those a little bit. But, I mean, Cindric's been pretty solid. I don't mind him at all. John says, hey Chris, who wins and who has a risky top 10 from the bottom in GPP? If I had to pick a winner today, it's going to be Kyle Busch. I mean, you're splitting hairs up top, but he would be my projected winner. That's how I have it in projections. And risky top 10 from the bottom in GPP, if you mean from the lower price drivers. Risky, Stenhouse. Stenhouse would be the risky one. I mean, he was top 10 in the 5 lap in practice. Not a lot of, like half the field didn't run a 5 lap in practice, but didn't look super slow. So I'd say like Cindric or Stenhouse would be like your sneaky top 10 finishers from the lower price drivers, excluding Bubba. I mean, he's already starting inside the top 10. Big Gritter says, would you play Kyle and Denny together? I'm not a huge fan of it this weekend. I did a lot of Elliott and Truex together last week because, starting 1-2, but it was also a 300 lap race, a lot more dominator points. I think if you're doing that this weekend, it's probably not the best route to go. They don't really correlate that well. So, I mean, I'm not like 100% against it. I might get some laps filtered out where I do have Busch and Hamlin together, but I'm definitely not going my way to do it. Cameron says, 20 lineup build. I've got 70% Eric Jones. How much Jones is too much? I think that's fine. The thing is, though, I don't want to get I want to go all in Jones because I'm going to miss out on some Daniel Suarez. I'll miss out on some Bubba and Cindric for tournaments. So I think 70% is fine. I'm probably going to be in the upper 50s to low 60s in my 150 build today on Jones. But he's an excellent play. Like, if Jones doesn't wreck, you're probably going to see him in the optimal. Let's see. J Smoke says, what's good, bro? What's up, J Smoke? Can't really get into Kyle Busch because of his price on Fanduel. Currently have Logano, Blaney, Bowman, and Jones. Torn between Truex, Larson, or Elliott, like I said, because of salary. Can't get to Busch. Well, if you did drop one of Logano or Blaney, you probably could get to Kyle Busch, but assuming you stick with what you have, Truex, Larson, or Elliott, I'll check my Fanduel projections and see what I have. So I have Elliott at 52.36. I got Truex at 51.47. So it's basically just a toss up there. But if you're going by projections, it's Chase Elliott for me. Bull says, looking for a narrative for me. Does any driver like strawberry milk on blueberry waffles? Bull, that's some investigation or some investigating that we're gonna have to do some point. Learn the drivers' diets, learn all their moves. I know potato salad's pretty close to there in the Discord, so maybe we can get him hooked on their breakfast habits. But as of right now, I unfortunately do not know that. Steven says, hey Chris, doesn't it seem like Kyle Busch is apathetic and doesn't seem to be motivated? I wouldn't say that. I mean, Kyle Busch has always been an interesting character, but he's always going to compete week in and week out. Obviously, he wasn't very good at New Hampshire last weekend, but I mean, I still think he's motivated to win. The guy loves winning, so I don't think Busch is ever going to get into a race car and not plan on, trying his best. Personally, I mean, obviously I don't know what's in his head, but Missouri K says, who's playing Gregson? Dude is nuts. Isn't afraid to train some paint for positions. I am not the biggest fan of Noah Gragson today. Starting in P22, he was, what, P31 and P18 in practice. That's out of 21 cars for the second number there. Looking at a couple of his races so far this year, 24th and 18th. I just wish he was starting a little bit further back. Like, I don't think he's going to be terrible today, but I could definitely see him losing some spots. Lovely girlfriend Juliana's here. Do appreciate you being in. Trevor says, Fanduel single entry, rolling Blaney, Truex, Jones, Chastain, and Bell. It's very solid. I'm not the biggest on the Penske duo of Joey and Ryan Blaney today, but I think overall it's a very solid lineup for sure. And my favorite plays over on Fanduel, it's Ross Chastain. Everyone's pretty close in predictions on Fanduel, but he's like 4 points above everybody else. And then obviously I like Eric Jones at his price point a lot. And then another guy I'm going to get to a ton of is Christopher Bell starting 11th. Big Girder says, is Kurt Busch out? Yes, he is. He is very much out. Do not roster Kurt Busch today. We just got that news about 20 minutes ago. So. Matthew says, DK says, Kurt Busch is out. Yeah, Kurt Busch is not racing today. I guess concussion-like symptoms after wrecking in qualifying, so do not play him. He's getting 0 points. And now, obviously, if you remember over on Patreon, I'll be updating all the projections, updating ownership, and obviously just X him out in the optimizer if he happens to show up. Brian says, thanks, Chris. You're welcome, Byron. Brian. Got Byron on my mind, I guess. Busch, Bell, Bowman, Blaney, Briscoe. He got quite the alliteration going on there. But let me see. Is that a Fanduel lineup? Yeah, 5 drivers. So I'm fine with that. I'm not the hugest fan of the 2 Penske guys up to. Cindric's fine, but I don't love Blaney or Joey today. But I guess Blaney's he's okay. I mean, obviously he's got to come out and win the race. Odds are still decent in Vegas. Just have some slight concerns there, but again, also not a huge fan of Briscoe. But I like Busch, I like Bell, I like Bowman. DK sent a notification out. Well, that's unfortunate. I was hoping they wouldn't do that. Some people would play Kurt Busch. Hopefully some people set their lineups last night because you don't have to worry about injury news for NASCAR. And then we have Kurt Busch at like 3% owned. Help us out a little bit. I'm sure there's going to be someone else with Kurt Busch in for sure. Maybe the other sites won't update their numbers and we'll get lucky. Jason says one of the Busch boys are out. Kurt Busch listed as out. Yep. That's going to be a popular question over on Stochastic later, isn't it? Max says, if you are playing a single entry tournament today, is eating chalk with Chastain, Jones, and pivoting to a Larson up front instead of a Busch Denny a viable option? Yes, that's fine. Again, keep in mind, Larson is not going to be unowned today or anything. People are going to play Kyle Larson. He's got some of the best odds to win this race in Vegas, but, I mean, it's a fine pivot. More people will probably go with the Hamlin Kyle Busch route, for sure. Marvin says, hey, Chris, what's up, Marvin? What should be my max exposure in a 20 max? It's going to change week to week. Sometimes we have just clear-cut options that you want to play. So this is a week where Eric Jones, kind of an anomaly because he's just in an absolute smash spot. So if you want to go like 70-80% in 20 max, I'm okay with that. Normally, I would say like a 60% is probably the furthest I'd want to go, or 50% depending on the week. But I think for Jones today, you can up that to really whatever you want to. Josh says, DK Cash, Bell, Chastain, Austin Dillon, Jones, Larson, Stenhouse Jr. I'm not the biggest fan of Austin Dillon and Cash today, but let's see, you have your Doms as Larson, Chastain. Don't have a problem with that. Stenhouse Jones, it's overall solid. Mike says, what do you think about McDowell? He's starting in 25th. He's kind of pricey at $6,500. I realize he's been very good recently, so I do understand that. P21 in practice, which really isn't far off of Stenhouse's number, and starting 6 spots further back. P8 in the last intermediate race, but again, you got to keep in mind a lot of guys wrecked. P23, P27, P31 in the other races. I think he's a top 20 contender. He's fine. I think I have around 15% Michael McDowell right now, but I have a little bit more Stenhouse. Man, there's a lot of questions. Okay, that's fine. I'm fine with all the questions. Jesus says, thoughts on pairing Elliott, Larson, Jones, Ross, Haley, Custer, single entry. So you have Larson, Elliott up top. You also have Ross. That's surprising. You can make that fit. Jones, Haley. That's fine. Yeah, if it fits, it's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, Gibbs is not going to be in the slate. Probably, I'd agree with that. I don't think we'll get Ty Gibbs. It would be cool if we got Ty Gibbs in the slate, but if they put him in at like 6K, that'd be quite interesting. If they put Ty Gibbs in the slate at like $6,000, I would definitely play some Ty Gibbs. But I would imagine that doesn't happen. Jack says Ty Gibbs drive the yep. That is for sure. Missouri says that was a heck of a battle last night. You talking Xfinity? I don't watch Xfinity. I'm usually working on Cup stuff. But I saw a crazy wreck. I forget who it was. I think was it Burton? Stenhouse Burton, something happened, and I saw a driver upside down. So that was pretty wild to see. Got a donut from Man Spread. Do appreciate it. He says appreciate you, boss. Well, I appreciate you, Spread. Thank you for always being here, making my life easier. Gridiron says, do we go with Harvick? Not necessarily a bad play, but I feel like he's going to go a bit overowned personally. And I would rather get to Byron. I'd rather get the Bell over Harvick. I think they're going to bring more speed today. Even though Byron's going to the rear, I'd still rather play him over Harvick personally. So that's my opinion on that. Now, with Kurt Busch being out, maybe that filters into a few more Kevin Harvick lineups because I was planning on playing around 15 to 18% Kurt Busch today because I still wanted some exposure even though I was going to the rear. But those percentages had to go somewhere, so I think Kevin Harvick might get bumped up a little bit for me. But that's just me kind of thinking out loud. See, my mom got some happy B-Day wishes. Appreciate you guys showing some love there. Yeah, happy B-Day, happy B-Day. Fortunately, I can't be there. Unfortunately not, but hopefully all these birthday wishes can make up for it a little bit. Yes, happy birthday to your awesome mom. Yep, for sure. No disagreement there. Make sure I didn't miss anything in the middle of that. Jeremy says maybe they should let Reddick drive the 45 and try. Obviously that can't happen, but that'd be really cool to see. That'd be really cool to see. I'd bump up my if Reddick was in the 45 car today, I'd definitely bump up my exposure to him. But obviously that's not happening. Michael says top low owned plays. I love Suarez. Kurt Busch is another guy I was targeting as low ownership play, but obviously we can't do that anymore. But I like Suarez a lot. Cindric should be a little bit lower on. I think he's a pretty solid play today. Stenhouse, although I don't think he's going to be super low owned. I mean, really for me, Suarez, Bell, and who's the other guy I liked a lot in tournaments? Oh yeah, Bubba Wallace. Yeah, I keep forgetting about Bubba Wallace. I haven't got any question about him today, I don't think, but I like him in tournaments as well. That's one of the reasons why I can't go super high in Eric Jones because, Suarez, Bubba, and Cindric are all similar price points. So, I just can't lock Eric Jones because then it really neutralizes the amount of times they can populate in lineups. Rick says, Harvick, Kyle Busch, Hamlin, Bowman, and Chris Buescher over on Fanduel. I think that's pretty solid. Obviously, Chris Buescher in the tougher spot starting P5 today, but if he can hold his own, it's not a bad play necessarily. So definitely, I think they can work. Cut the Check says 20% ownership on Kyle Busch too low. Well, it depends though. Do you like Kyle Busch today? If you do, I would get that up because I think he's going to be in the low to mid 30s as far as his ownership is concerned today. So if you like Kyle, yes, that's way too low. If you don't like Kyle, you're being underweight, so that's fine. But it really depends on your opinion of Kyle Busch. For me, I'm in the upper 30s on my Busch exposure. AJ says, this is a GPP where you have to eat chalk. What is good chalk? What is bad chalk? So I think Eric Jones is good chalk today. Again, don't lock him in, but I think if you're playing single entry, you're playing 3 max, it's fine to eat the Eric Jones chalk because his path to being optimal is very easy today, and he was also very fast in practice. Now, what could be potentially bad chalk, maybe a Kevin Harvick, when you have guys like Byron right there, you have Christopher Bell, who I think can outperform Kevin Harvick today. They showed more speed in practice. So I don't want to call Harvick like bad chalk, but I do think he's going to be a bit overowned. So instead of playing, a lot of people play Ross, people play Harvick, people play Eric Jones. Pivoting off of one or two of those guys like a Cole Custer, you could move to a Michael McDowell or Ricky Stenhouse. There's ways to play chalk and pivot off of other chalks as well. That makes sense. Steven says, remember what happened last time when the Toyotas were all the talk? I think they smashed, right? I think it was Kansas. I think they all finished in the top 10 almost. I think, who won the Kansas race? Kurt Busch? Yeah, Kurt Busch. Looking at the numbers here. So Kurt Busch finished first, Kyle Busch third, Denny Hamlin fourth, Truex sixth. Where'd Bell finish? Bell finished fifth. So I think the whole top six was Toyotas. Or no, Kyle Larson finished second. And then Bubba Wallace finished 10th. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were all in the top 10. Kurt Busch, yeah. It's the last time I can really remember Toyota being the complete talk of the town. But I'm trying to... we liked them last week? And they did pretty well, so... yeah, happy birthday, Chris's mom, for sure. For sure. Binyam says Kurt Busch is out. He sure is. If you were just now getting here, Kurt Busch is out today. Do not play him. Joe says, thoughts on fading Kurt? I think you're crazy if you're fading Kurt today. You gotta go all in. Gotta go all in on Kurt today. Those luscious 0 points that he's gonna get you. Bull says, currently got 76 people in the second contest. That's awesome, guys. I don't think it's gonna happen where we fill both of them, but if we can fill both contests, that'd be sweet. We still have like 3 hours to lock. Oh, we're at 9. Okay, I'm like really behind the chat. We are at 98 people in the second contest. 98. So, plenty of time to get in there still. Cut the Check says, Chastain and Byron 30% plus owned going to the rear, high owned. I'm not sure Byron's going to get over 30% today. Because look, you have Christopher Bell at a similar price point. You have Kevin Harvick at a similar price point. And you're going to have a lot of exposure to those Larson and up guys. So I don't think Byron's going to be extremely high owned. I think going to the back is going to lower the ownership a little bit. And then obviously you have Kevin Harvick right below him. As far as Chastain is concerned, yes, he's going to be very high owned today. I currently have him projected to be the second highest owned driver. He was super fast in practice. He's good everywhere, starting in 21st. Yeah, I'm all aboard the Ross Chastain chalk train today. Wait, says happy B-Day, Mrs. Pennell, for sure. Hopefully she didn't leave. Hopefully she saw these. If she missed these, well, I'll have to send her the link. Bull says Oakley is not happy. Oh, you can hear him barking. I feel like that happened 30 minutes ago. Hopefully I'm not that far behind in the chat. Ron says, good morning, Chris from PA. 40% chance of rain at 4 o'clock. Also 90 degrees. At Pocono? That'd be unfortunate. Hopefully we get no rain today. Well, hopefully it all stays clear. You never know in the Pocono Mountains, but... sorry, I was reading something else. But yeah, appreciate you being here, Ron. Thank you very much. Let's see. You're welcome, Obi. You're welcome. Jared says, I think Mrs. Pennell should get free entry into the contest. I can always PayPal her, I guess, if she wanted the free roll. Reaper says, first time live from... Oh, I'm glad you're here, Reaper. This is awesome. We do this every week, so stop by. I'd be more than happy to have you. It's always a good time. Pretty much just joking around, answering some questions. I said everything I really wanted to say in the preview video, so it's just really a good time before the race starts for the most part. You guys make it fun for me, so thank you for stopping by. See, Austin says, C-Pen was threatening to throw that toy off the balcony last night. We talked to... Allegedly. You have no proof. What's up, Dakota? Good morning. Although not quite good morning at this point, but I'm sure you're in a different time range. Thoughts on McDowell? He's a very similar play to Cole Custer, Justin Haley. There's really not much separating these guys. I think he's going to have a little bit more speed than Custer and Haley. He's also starting a few spots further up. Should be a top 20 contender, but at best he's probably going to gain 5 spots. Maybe he cracks the top 15, but if you're looking at the intermediates this year, 23rd, 27th, 31st, finished 8th at this Coke 600, but you got to keep in mind that was like the Daytona 500. Demetrius says Southeast. Oh, well, I don't remember what that's pertaining to because that's, I think the last time I saw your message was a long time ago. Let me see if I can scroll up. Oh, gotcha, Virginia, that's right. Well, maybe I did go by Norfolk then. Because I had to go by Maryland. I might have. What's up, T. McDuff? Hey, Chris, it's been a long time. Glad to have you back. Glad to have you back for sure. It's not true. They have no proof. John says McDowell over Stenhouse in cash. I won't talk you out of it. I personally like Stenhouse a little bit more though. It's like I'm a little bit more, but you're basically flipping a coin there. Dimitri says thoughts on exposure / randomness. So randomness today, I would go 30%. That's been typical what I do. If we go to a super speedway, I usually bump that up to 50%, but I think 30% randomness is pretty good today. As far as exposures, I mean, that's really personal preference. The highest I would go is probably Eric Jones today. Maybe you put that at, if it's a 20 max, maybe you go like 70-ish. If it's a 150, maybe you get to the 50s and 60s. Just my personal opinion there. Siason's trying to get me in trouble. Guess we'll have to have a talk. Tim says, who do you think has the best finish, Truex or Byron? I'd go with Truex there. I mean, he's not losing his track position to start the race. Average green flag speed-wise over the course of the season once you remove other tracks, like the dirt race, road courses, and whatnot. He's actually been the fastest driver, so I would side with Truex. I love the JGR cars today. Andrew says, what's up, Chris? What's up, Andrew? Who's your most exposed driver for Fanduel GPP? Look, he's not low owned or anything, but Ross Chastain's my highest owned driver on Fanduel, and then Christopher Bell, I think, has got a pretty decent chance of being second. I have not built my Fanduel lineups yet, but I can actually head over to the Opto. I'll crunch the lineups here without any settings, and I'll see who pops up the most for you. But if I had to guess, it's probably going to be Chastain, and it's probably going to be... It might be Bell. It might be. I'm not sure if it's going to be another. All right, let me see. So yeah, so Chastain, Jones, Bell is the guys popping up the most for me, and I'm actually getting quite a bit of Byron over on FanDuel, a lot more than I am over on DK. Must be a lot cheaper on FanDuel. Yeah, Byron's only 10K on FanDuel, so that's going to be really easy to fit in. Yes, I know he's going to the rear, but he should still be fine. And I'm also getting a lot of Joey popping up on FanDuel, which I don't love. I'll probably nuke that down so I can get more Kyle Busch, Elliott, and Truex in there. Even though the projections like him a little bit, I'm going to side with my personal thought there, I guess. C. Davis says, Busch, Chastain, Harvick, Jones, Haley, Custer for cash. It's a solid cash lineup. I don't think there's really any problem with that. I don't know if I'm going to go the Harvick route, but I think it's overall pretty solid. Yeah, I'm sure you would rather have him bite me. I'm sure. Okay, my mom did see it. All right, we're good then. We're good. She's getting all her thank yous in. Let's see. No, do not tell her to play that. We don't have to do that. I'm very late, no problem at all. Any thoughts on Suarez? I think Suarez is one of the better tournament plays today. I mean, he should have speed. Trackhouse always has speed. Definitely top 6, top 8 potential today. Tim says, think Suarez gets the top 10 today? Yeah, I think that's certainly possible. I want to say his odds for getting a top 10 were, what, minus 140? And my projections, while it does say projected finish of 11.43, I think that's still in the top 10 once you sort that, because the best projected finish I have is Kyle Busch, and that's a 6.9, but I'm projecting him to win. If that makes sense to you guys. So I do think I have him projected for a top 10 finish, top 10, top 12, something like that. Any love for McDowell? Like, I don't have love for McDowell, but I don't dislike him either. Like, he's there, he's playable. I don't love it, but if I get him like around 15% of my lineups, I'm okay with it. If that makes sense. Obi says, let's go Recce. Yeah, I'm playing him today. We'll see how it goes. I'm not sure. I'm a little worried, but I mean, he's got a few top 20s at Pocono. Obviously, he's had some decent finishes at the intermediates, and he showed some more speed this weekend than he has been recently. Roshan says, Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney, Jones, Truex. I need more. 2 more. 12,100 left. Okay, let me see. I'm just going to lock him in the optimizer and see what the highest projected output is there. So we have Kyle Busch, Jones, Blaney, I think. If I'm reading that correctly, yeah, it's Ryan Blaney. I can't find him. Okay. Busch, Blaney, Jones, Truex. All right, let's see. 2 more. Highest projected one there would be those guys with Cole Custer and Ty Dillon. That's the highest projected for me, at least. Pedro says, first DK NASCAR today. Any tips? Well, welcome into the mess of NASCAR DFS. It changes every week. Pocono, it's basically a finishing position race for the most part. Obviously, PD is important. I really like the Toyotas today, which would be JGR, which includes Kyle Busch, Truex, Hamlin, Christopher Bell, also Bubba Wallace is also Toyota. I like Hendrick, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, William Byron. Chastain's obviously very good. If you're looking for cheap plays, I like Eric Jones. I like Suarez, Ricky Stenhouse, McDowell, Haley Burton. Hopefully that helps you. I mean, I have a lot more tips to say. I do have a how to play NASCAR DFS video, but you can always check that out if you want. But if I told you all the tips possible, we might be here for a while. But hopefully you do well today. Missouri says Recce Spinhouse. Yeah. I mean, he has that name for a reason. It happens a lot. Albert says, how does Hamlin, Chastain, Bubba, Suarez, Jones, and Stenhouse look for a small field GPP? So you have Hamlin as your early lap leader. You have Chastain, Bubba, Suarez. Yeah, that's a good lineup. I like that a lot, especially for tournaments. Mom says, I don't understand anything Christopher is really talking about, just like hearing his voice and seeing his face. It's the big 5-0 from, oh, well, I did not realize it was the big 5-0. I guess that's definitely a big milestone there. But yes, had to make sure you get your birthday shout-outs, that's for sure. Rhythm says, Truex or Hamlin for a Fanduel GPP? I'll go with Truex there. I mean, similar finishing position upside, not as many laps to lead, so Hamlin isn't as good of a play over on Fanduel, in my opinion, as he is on DraftKings. Luke says, how much PD drivers do you need today? I mean, you don't need PD. I'm fine with all these guys starting close to the front. Like Suarez is a fine pivot off of Jones, but I mean, I'm not really going my way to play a bunch of PD, but obviously I like Eric Jones. Eric Jones is really the only PD guy I like. I mean, you can kind of count William Byron as a PD play and obviously Ross Chastain, but outside of just the expensive drivers, I mean, Jones is the only PD guy that really looks that great to me personally. What's my thoughts on Kevin Harvick today? My only thoughts on Kevin Harvick is I think he might go a bit over-owned today. He was obviously very good at New Hampshire last weekend, but he's a guy I like to roster at the short flats for the most part. Yes, there's some PD upside here, but he was slow in practice. He was obviously the fours were kind of slow, and he hasn't been as great at these track types. He's finishing well, but he's not running as well. He's just kind of getting lucky by not wrecking out. Got a donut from a man Don here. Oh, Should Dynasty? I think we figured that out yesterday in the Discord chat. $1 more than spread because he's a ding dong. Also, what channel's the reason? I like it. If you don't know, we had a fight in Discord last night. We have some beef between Spread and our man Shady here. But what channel's the race on? I think it's on USA Today, right? I assume. I'm gonna guess USA. Hopefully I didn't give you bad info, but I do appreciate the dono. And yes, Spread is certainly a ding-dong. That is for sure. Spread hates The Office. He hates other good shows. It's just a bad situation all around. Let's see. Jesus says, how much Jones and Custer together, Chris? I couldn't tell you exactly how much I had them together, but I'm sure it's a pretty popular combo in my lineups. Unfortunately. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with Custer. I think he sucks, obviously. Obviously, he does suck. He's not very good. But Starting P32, we just don't have that many great plays down low. Casey says Ty Gibbs in the 45 car will be interesting. Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see what he's going to do. And obviously, I don't think he's playable for DFS purposes because I'm checking Twitter again. I have not seen any news that he would get added to the player pool. So, I mean, we could all just root for him to do well. It'd be amazing if he won the race. I don't think that would happen, but if he did, that'd be crazy. But if he could pull in a top 10, I mean, that'd be impressive. Not expecting that, though. Vicky says Ty Gibbs. Yeah, Ty Gibbs is in the 45 car today. If you're just now seeing that news. Kurt Busch is out. Definitely some cool experience for him, though. Kay says DK Cash, Hamlin, Chastain, Reddick, Jones, Cindric, and Custer. It's not bad. It's not bad. Wouldn't knock you off of it. Dakota says, I have Kyle Busch, Burton, Truex, Bell, Cindric, 7K left. Who would you go with on DK? So let's see, you have Busch, Truex up top, like that. You have Bell and Cindric, I like that as well. Burton. So you have 7K left. So let's see what you got. Probably going to go with Ricky, to be honest. It's between Austin Dillon and Ricky Stenhouse. I feel like they're both pretty similar plays. I'll take the extra 4 spots on Ricky there. Who's all going to the rear? Well, it was Kurt Busch. That it's now Ty Gibbs. We also have William Byron going to the rear. Let me just make sure nobody else is. Let me pull up Bob's Twitter. So, okay, Kurt Busch, Byron, and Chastain, which I don't care that Chastain's going to the rear. I don't care that Byron's going to the rear. And obviously, Kurt Busch is no longer playable. So that's the only ones we have for right now. But it does. Look, Chastain and William Byron, I'm sure, are going to make their way up to the field pretty quickly. Jesus says, thoughts on Bubba? Bubba's a solid play today. I mean, he had a top 5 in Pocono last year, also top 15. And when he's given a fast car, I mean, as long as he doesn't have any issues on pit road, which do happen a lot, but they did switch crews. I think he can be solid today. Should be a top 10 contender. Solid tournament play for sure. Buescher and Wallace, good plays. Buescher, a little iffy there. I do have a hard time seeing him hold off Hendrick, holding off Toyota. Bubba Wallace, though, I do like today. Only for tournaments, though. Andre says, what do we think for final 3 spots for DK Cash? It's tough. I think we probably see, like, Stenhouse be somewhat popular for that. I think Cole Custer will be popular. And then after that, it's a little bit tougher. But, well, if you count Eric Jones as your last 3 spots, yeah, go Jones. Cindric's playable, too. Matt says, you take Bell and Stenhouse over Bowman and Brad, 26 in cash. Seems like the latter might be safer. Yeah, I would personally. Like, yeah, Brad's got some PD upside, but Bell's got legit race winning upside this week. Top 5 contender. I'd rather go with Bell, get the Toyota there, and then Stenhouse. Like, I realize it's Stenhouse, but personally, I would. Not everyone's got to agree with me there. Bowman and Brad might seem a bit safer, and that's fine to say, I think. But I'd rather take the Bell and Stenhouse route. But I just think they're going to be a little faster today. Bowman's a fine play, but I'm not super high on Brad. Like, he's fine because of where he's starting. I think he's going to gain some spots, but I'm not super excited about him. Curtis says, can I get the DFS contest link? Yes, you can. Let me drop it in the chat here. Unless someone else did, but I'll just do it again anyway. Or you can hit my Twitter up. I'm at ChrisPennell16. But I'll drop it in chat in a second. There you go. He says, any homeless people under the tunnel giving DFS advice anymore? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You can go check though. You can definitely go check. You're welcome, Russian bot. You're welcome. I'm not sure it sounds true to me because you told me the same exact thing. Maybe. Can't confirm nor deny. Joe says, good morning, CP. Walking on beach at Kauai. I think that's how I say it this morning. Listen to the stream. Appreciate it. Where is... It sounds like it's in Hawaii. I'm going to check, though. It sounds like a nice place. Let's see. Kiowa. Huh. It's not in Hawaii. It's in South Carolina, but it's an island, and it looks very nice at some of these pictures I'm looking at. So hopefully you're having a great time. And I do appreciate you still listening to the stream. Anyway, Custer versus Recchi. I would go with Recchi there. I just think the upside's a little bit higher with him. Nick says, I wonder how Ty Gibbs will do. If he beats Kyle Busch, I will rage. I'm scared about the 18's future. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're a Busch fan and Ty Gibbs. Why did I say Stenhouse? Ty Gibbs beat Kyle Busch today. That'd be something else. I don't think that would happen. I mean, it's his first Cup race, but I mean, obviously he's in good equipment though, and should be a fast car. So, but yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how Ty Gibbs will do. Cola says this is the week someone takes Chastain out. Probably not. I mean, it just feels like they're all talk, to be honest. At some point it might happen, but I wouldn't build lineups banking on him getting wrecked out. Skylar says, high stakes single entry, Elliott or Kyle Busch. I would go with Kyle Busch personally. I'm just a big fan of Toyota today. Very close though, very close. Ripper says, thank you on the Suarez info, boss. No problem. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think he's a good tournament play today. Fair warning, I'm not like going to have an absolute ton of Daniel Suarez, but I am going to make it a point to get him in at least one of my 3 maxes over on DK today, and I'm going to have a decent chunk of him on Fanduel as well. I see Van Bull on Twitter is asking DK if Ty Gibbs is going to get added to the player pool, so I'd appreciate that. So hopefully we can get some info there. I'm not sure if anyone else has asked. I would highly doubt it, but you never know. Just things you got to be prepared for, just in case. Morning, Shady. Morning, Shady. Nice to have you here. Hopefully we have a good race day today. And then we can bully spread a little bit more later for not liking good TV shows. Gregson after the dub? No, I can't do that personally. I mean, Gregson's fine to have like 5 to 10% of, but I'm not making a point to play a ton of Gregson today. Adrian says, do you think DraftKings will add Ty Gibbs? Not really sure. I wouldn't expect it, but Bull did ask on Twitter for me, or I guess all of us. Maybe we can get some info on that, but I'll try to let you guys know if we get some info there. Mike says Harvick didn't look confident driving, had bad entries on turns. Yeah, again, I'm not a huge fan of Kevin Harvick today. If he's going to pull in a lot of ownership, I'm going to be underweight. I'd rather get Christopher Bell. I'd rather get to William Byron. Like, yeah, the PD's there, but I'm not sure he's going to be that fast. Anthony says, where's Treasy? He's probably in Discord somewhere. Probably in Discord. He doesn't usually pop in on the live streams. 5-Star Logistics says Custer is terrible. Look, I agree with you. I think he's awful. Custer is not good. Doesn't mean I'm not going to play him in DFS a little bit today, but he's not good. I'll agree with you there. Let's see. Raphael says Kyle Busch, Larson, Harvick, Bubba, McDowell, Custer. What are your thoughts? I like Busch, I like Larson. I'm indifferent on Harvick. Bubba's a good tournament play. McDowell's fine. Custer's okay. It's not a lineup I'd talk you off of. Spread says 5-star is the word. Yeah, Custer's bad. He does not need to be in that ride. We got to get somebody else in there. Appreciate that, Cameron. We're probably at over 100 spots now, which is awesome. 111. We might fill 2, guys. We might fill 2. That'd be impressive. Tim says when you're choosing between Reckhouse and Custer, you might as well flip a coin. You're not wrong. You're not wrong there. Personally, for me though, it's Stenhouse, but it's 2 guys that are really hard to trust. That is for sure. I got a donut from Mantito. Do appreciate that. They actually showed up this time. They're not adding Gibbs to the player pool. SDK can't do it. Same day ads. Oh, appreciate that for the good info there. I should have paid you for that. Let's go, Daddy Truex. Hey, I'm all good. I'm all here for some Truex. Good finish today, that's for sure. I'm hoping he was a little bit overlooked, but I think he's a solid tournament play. But I do appreciate the donut, Tito. Did Jones make a mistake during qualifying? Yeah, Jones kissed the wall, so he's not slow or anything. He was very fast in practice. Although he did get docked some points for having some illegal stuff going on with his car, so maybe he doesn't have quite the speed, but he still should be fast enough. I mean, he was P6, P4 in practice. Should be a top 20, top 15 contender in this race. He is pretty good at Pocono. Daryl, also known as Radiant in the Discord, says the Gunna car fast. He wasn't terrible in practice, but the Fords don't seem to have the speed as the Chevys and the Toyotas this weekend, so I'm not going to be as high on them. Also, can't make the race today due to my boy being born. Yeah, got to give a shout out to Mandaro there, or Darrell. Apologize, I might be saying it wrong, but he did just have just had a baby, I think, a couple days ago. So congrats to him. Hopefully all is going well. Reaper says, I'm running out of time. Chris might not get to this question in time. General public, Cindric or Jones? What do you think? My final piece to the puzzle. For me, it's Jones. Look, the path for Jones is really easy today. Cindric and Jones probably have some pretty similar finishing position upside, so I'd go with Jones. Cindric will be lower owned, but I just think overall Jones is a better play. Do I like Haley at all? Says Dat Stud. Not. I mean, yeah, he's okay. I feel like he's the same play as Custer, personally. So I do have more exposure to Custer, but I might try to flip that and get to more Haley. But both have some very similar numbers at similar tracks this year. Tim says I would say Cindric and Tourneys, and that's fine. I wouldn't. It's not something I'm against saying. Cola says we have seen some of these drivers that go to the rear just face some bad luck and get into an accident, or there are a lot of crashes here. Yeah, it's certainly possible. I mean, obviously going to the rear, you have to be around some pretty bad cars to start the race, which does, increase some risk there. But Pocono is typically a pretty boring track, but we haven't been here in the next gen car, so I don't want to say for sure if there's going to be a lot of crashes or not. I wouldn't expect a ton, but I've said that at the intermediate so far this year, and they all turn into a demolition derby, it seems like. So I don't want to say anything for certain. Jesse says, where do you think Blaney has the best chance of getting his W? Oh, let me pull up the NASCAR schedule here. I mean, Pocono is not a bad track for him, but I'm just not sure the Fords have quite the speed this weekend. So let's see. We have Pocono today. We have Indy, road course. Can't really see him winning that one. Probably going to be a Trackhouse or Elliott. Michigan's a good track for him, but again, I just don't think the Fords have the raw speed at a track like that. Richmond's possible. He let some laps there earlier in the season. Better at the short flats. Now, obviously not a great track for him overall, but I mean, that track history doesn't really matter too much. Honestly, if Blaney was going to get the win, I think it's either going to be Daytona or it's going to be Richmond, probably. It had to be my guess. I can't see him winning a road course. I mean, he could. He hasn't been bad at them. But I just don't think he could beat Elliott. I don't think he can beat Trackhouse car. So probably, if it's not today, Richmond or Daytona. But Daytona is definitely, he's probably going to open as the favorite for that race, I'd imagine. How good he is at super speedways. No, I do not, Anthony. I had to retire those, unfortunately. Would I go Briscoe or Reddick? I'd go with Reddick. I'm not a huge fan of Briscoe today. No problem, PMJ. Good luck to you as well. No problem. You guys make it fun for me. Confirmed DK is not adding Gibbs. Good to know there. We don't have to worry about that. Ronald says Kyle Busch, Truex, Bell, Suarez, Cindric for a Fanduel GPP. That's solid. You got the Toyotas there. You have Suarez and I like Cindric today, so that's pretty solid. Haley or Custer, last man in. Probably Custer. But it's bad either way. Yes says, what's up, CPM? What's up? Does this change projections a lot because of Kurt? No, it's not going to change the projections because those cars still going to be there. I mean, not really much can change. I mean, some numbers will probably go a little bit different because I wouldn't expect Ty Gibbs to finish as high as Kurt Busch would today. So I could probably bump up a couple drivers, but obviously it's going to change ownership projections the most. So I'll have those updated after I get off the stream, which it's already almost 1 o'clock, so I'm probably going to have to get off pretty soon here. There's been a lot of questions today. So I'll try to fly by through these a little bit quicker and we'll have to get off. But yeah, it's going to change ownership more so than anything. So I'm going to try to fly through these here. Avery says, would you play Busher and Bubba in a single entry? Probably not Busher, but I would play Bubba. Roshan says Haley or Burton. Probably Haley there. Kenny says, hey Chris, what's up Kenny? Who'll be your cheapest contender for today? Contender is like race winner? Cheapest potential race winner, I would say, is probably Suarez. Suarez, Bubba, or Bell would be the guys I could see potentially winning, if that's what you mean, as far as price is concerned. Benny says, lowest guy that's playable today. Playable? I would say Gillen. Gillen would be your lowest price playable driver. Yep, Ty is not going to get added to the player pool today. Good that we got that info out. Payne says, sorry, late joining, no problem at all. Better late than never. How do you feel about Burton in tournaments today? He should be lower owned than Custer and Haley, so I don't hate the pivot. And he was also a little bit faster in practice. But, Yeah, rookie at Pocono, we'll see. $1 Million Sean's here. He says, everyone play Kurt if you're in my contest. I agree. If you are in contest of mine, please play Kurt Busch today. Also, if Kurt Busch has any ownership in any of my contests today, I would be ashamed in all of you. Someone's not paying attention. So we better not have anybody with Kurt Busch in the YouTube contest today. I see we have like 300 people here still. That's awesome. It's been like an hour and a half. Do appreciate you guys being here today, though. I'm not sure what's so popular about Pocono, but I'm not going to complain. Who's my two favorite drivers to start with in single entry? Chastain and Jones. Chastain and Jones. RaceFan22 says, Byron, Elliott, Hamlin, Haley, McDowell, Jones. Thoughts? Thanks. You're welcome. And yeah, it's a solid lineup. I like Byron, I like Elliott. Like Hamlin, Haley, McDowell, Jones. Yeah, all fine there. Don't have a problem with that. Sorry if I'm ripping through these questions, but I have another show coming up. I gotta do my lineups and I gotta do some updates. Darren says, Harvick love. I'm pretty on Harvick, if that tells you anything. I don't know. I just think he's going to be a bit overowned today. Like, let's say he approaches 25-30%. I can't do that. I'd rather be overweight on Bell. I'd rather be overweight on Byron personally. Danny says, Larson or Elliott, cash game DK. I'll go with Elliott. He's been too good recently. He's also very strong in practice. Michael says, are we all sleeping on Buescher? I mean, yeah, he's starting well, but I don't see him holding off don't see him holding off JGR. I don't see him holding off Hendrick. Last guy in says Skyler, Elliott, Hamlin, or Truex. Probably gonna go with Elliott there. Close to him or Truex, but I'll go with Elliott. 5 Star says last week's winning lineup had 5 out of 6 that started in the top 10. Food for thought. Yeah, it's a lot different being at a short flat track compared to Pocono, but I mean, again, a lot of times PD can be overhyped. Got a donut from a man, Eric. Oh, Eric with a K from Discord. Do appreciate you dropping in the dono there. Last 2 in for single entry, Larson, Ricky, or Bell and Bubba. I'd go with Bell and Bubba there, I think. It's tough. I'm probably going to go Bell and Bubba there. Sorry, I think I didn't see your dono. I was kind of sitting there for a little bit. Do apologize for that. But I'm probably going to go the Bell Bubba route there. We'll just go Team Toyota. Do appreciate the dono though, Eric. Where are we at? Bell over Harvick and Cash? I probably would. I'd rather get the Bell. I know it's not as safe starting 13 spots further up, but I like Bell a lot today. Who's a driver below 7K that has value? Stenhouse has some value. Cole Custer has some value. I think they're fine place. You're welcome. You're welcome, Thomas. Appreciate you always being here. Bull says on a Bubba talk. I feel like I've mentioned Bubba quite a bit. I feel like it. But yeah, we know you love Bubba. Luke says, have you ever played the cheapest drivers to save salary and pay up? No, I don't normally do that, Luke. A couple years ago, I played Quinn Half starting last at Pocono, I think. It was close. He was either last or close to last, and he was like $4,500. It didn't go too bad. He gained 7 spots. I think he started like 40th and finished 33rd or something. It wasn't actually the worst day. I think he scored close to 20 points. Tito says, what's your thoughts on Stars and Scrubs? Found a line I like where I'm punting, but my other 3 might have enough upside to make it work. Who are the Scrubs? Because if it's guys like Yaley, McLeod, Bilicki, Ware, I would say no. If it's guys like Scrubs, like Custer, Haley, McDowell, I think that's fine. But I guess it would really depend on who exactly it is. Roshan says Kyle Busch, Jones, Custer, Haley, Bell, and Truex. I think that's pretty solid. Like the Toyotas you got there, like Eric Jones. And overall, pretty solid. Last spot, Bowman or Reddick. I'm going to roll with Bowman there. We have 116 people in contest number 2. You guys are awesome. we might actually fill 2 contests, which is crazy. Let's see. Cole says it's a better roll with 1 solid lineup for multiple contests or 3 to 4 lineups in 1 contest. Well, I guess it just depends what kind of contest I'm in. Like, I would rather have 1 lineup in a single entry than like 4 lineups in the 150 max contest, because you're probably not going to end up doing well in that. So I don't know how much money you're playing today, but I would rather just put 1 in the single entry. There's so many questions today. I'm trying. Last guy in between 7,500 Wallace through 61. Oh, for GPP, I'd probably just have to say Bubba Wallace there, right at the top. Cole Custer for GPP. He's probably going to be over-owned in tournaments, honestly. I'd probably pivot off of him in GPPs. He's a better cash play. Under says smash that like button. Yeah, I'm going to get out of here very soon. We've been here an hour and a half, so I'll have to get off soon. But on your way out, smash the like. Or if you're just not getting here, smash the like as well. Appreciate it. Bowman thoughts? I like Hendrick today, and he's pretty cheap at $8,100 starting in 17th. Could be a top 12 contender. I don't have a problem with Bowman. Answers the question from Jesse as well. Sarah says, hey from Mississippi, just woke up. Glad to have you, Sarah. I'm just about to get off, though, but I'm glad you could make it in. Rick says, hit them likes. I agree. We're almost there. Custom Motor says, Hamlin thoughts? He's a good play today. I just prefer Busch more. I prefer Truex more. I prefer Elliott and Chastain more. So it's like, yeah, I'm still going to play him, but I'm not going to get to him as much as some of the other guys up top. I think him losing his pit stall is going to hurt him in the long run. Like maybe he leads all of stage 1, but is he going to keep the lead after that? Not 100% sure. We do have some other guys with better pit stalls. So, and if he loses the lead, is he ever going to get it back? Again, not 100% sure there. So it's not like there's a stage 1 where we have 80 laps, where if he leads 80 laps, yeah, he's going to be optimal like Truex last week. We only have, 35 laps in stage 1 this weekend, so we'll see. But he's fine playing. He's not going to be as high owned for me as some of the other guys up top. Bowman or Byron for GPP? I would go with Byron if price isn't an issue. Thoughts on Kyle Busch? One of my favorite plays today, and he'd be my pick to win as of right now. Easy says, what time you dropping exposures? Probably as soon as I get off of here, which is going to be pretty soon. Jack says, go to emojis, I think. I think it's a go to emoji. I do appreciate it, Jack. Thank you very much. Trying to get through all the questions here. It's been tough, but we had a lot today. No problem at all, Cole. No problem. Shola says, hi from Bladen Gateshed, UK. Wow. We have someone come across the pond. I do appreciate you stopping by. I have no idea what time it is over there. Probably around 6 o'clock, but thank you for stopping in. I was going to say, this does not sound like an American city. Never heard of it. I do appreciate you being here. DDS says, Brad K or Cindric for a DraftKings single entry. I would go with Austin Cindric there. I think I made it through all the questions. We were here for an hour and a half today. You guys have made it a fun stream. I think we're going to fill like 2 contests today. At least close to it, so... You guys rock. Leave a like on your way out. Subscribe if you are brand new. I do these each and every single weekend. Extra content over on Patreon. Promo code CPEN over on Prize Picks. And I'll be in the Discord doing the same exact thing we're doing here, just over in Discord. And then I'll be in the Stochastic show in like an hour. So, that being said, I wish you all the best of luck. Thanks for all the questions. And I'll see you all next time.